What's up, guys? This video is going to be talking about solving quadratics by factoring. So what you did on Khan Academy, we just factored, right, the trinomial, like we had done before, and then we used the zero product property to solve. So the only thing that's different about this and what you did on Khan Academy is we got these, right, there's a coefficient other than 1 on that x squared, or in this case, the d squared term. Okay, so it's going to be the same exact thing. We're going to factor the same way we did, and then we're just going to use the zero product property to solve. Okay, but we're just going to do 2 quick examples. Let me know if you need more. Okay, so sorry for this noise. Gotta get set. But the first one, okay, so this is already set equal to 0, which is perfect. Now we can factor this side, right, and use the zero product property. So if we're going to factor this side, what are we looking for? Numbers that multiply to be a times c, which is 8 times 7, a times c, or a is 7 and c is 8, but it doesn't matter which order. So 56. So we want them to multiply to be 56, and we want them to add to be what? 18. Okay, add to be b. And so you might have to guess a couple numbers here. Obviously, 1 and 56 would not work, but I think I already solved this, right? So 4 and 14 end up being the numbers that work. So 4 times 14 is 56. 4 plus 14 is 18. So that's good. Then we come back over here, right? And we separate plus 14d plus 4d plus 8. All right, and we separate that middle term. If you guys remember, we separate it into these 2 different pieces. Okay. Then we factor by grouping. So we group these together, and factor. So we can factor out a 7d, and we get d plus 2. 7d times d plus 2. And then we can factor out a 4, and we get d plus 2. And so then our final factor form is going to be d plus 2 times 7d plus 4, right? And that's still equal to 0, right? This whole time, even as we factor this, it was always equal to 0 on this side. So now that we've got it equal to 0, what can we do? We can use the zero product property to find our 2 answers. So d plus 2 equals 0, 7d plus 4 equals 0, subtract 2 from both sides, d equals -2, and then here, subtract 4, 7d equals -4, divide by 7, right, on both sides, and we end up with d equals -4 over 7. So now these are our 2 answers. We could list them together. D equals -2, -4 over 7, however you want to. But these are the 2 answers. So doing stuff you already got a lot of practice with factoring, you guys are really good at, and then we just use the zero product property to solve. Okay, so let's look at one more example that maybe starts off looking a little different over on this side. So this one, it says 11x squared minus 6 equals 31x. Do we know how to solve that? It looks a little different, right? So what we have to start with is getting everything set equal to 0, so then we can factor it. So if we want to get this set equal to 0, what do we need to do? Just subtract 31x from both sides. And you end up with 11x squared minus 31x, right, minus 6. And because none of these terms would combine, so you just write it out. Equals, and on this side, those cancel, equals 0. Well, now we've got something that we can factor, right? Sorry about that. It's my house phone. But now I've got something we can factor, okay? So we're looking for numbers that multiply to be 11 times -6 and add to equal -31. So that's -66. And let's think what that is. We've got, obviously, -1 and 66. That's not going to work. I'm just going to try a couple numbers on my calculator. 11 and 6 didn't work. Just 2. Yeah, so what about 2 and 33? And then which one do we want to be negative? We want it to be -31, then we need this 33 to be negative. And then it would add equal -31, okay? So then we separate again, 11x squared minus 33x plus 2x minus 6 equals 0. Okay, now we're going to factor out our factor by grouping. Okay, so we can take out an 11x out of this, and we get x minus 3. And then we can take a 2 out of this one, plus 2, and get x minus 3. So our final factored form is x minus 3 times 11x plus 2. And that's equal to what? 0. It was equal to 0 this whole time. Okay. And now we can use what? The zero product property to solve. So we factored, now we're using the zero product property. So x minus 3 equals 0, 11x plus 2 is equal to 0. Add 3 to both sides, x equals 3. Sorry, not add to. What are we doing? If it's being added, we need to subtract to get rid of it. Minus 2 on both sides, 11x equals negative 2, and then divide by 11. These are just like two-step equations, right? So there's our two answers, x equals 3 and x equals negative 2 over 11. And you could write those together like we did on the last problem. Okay, so here's just two examples of how to solve these. If you need more, let me know. But I think you guys got this.